Hi guys, this is the daytime look with the winged eyeliner that you requested. So I'm just starting with the Maybelline eye rays over my eyelids, just to use that as a really light base and just patting that in with my fingers. It's good to have just something over the eyelids just because it knocks out some of that colour, and it just means that your eyeshadow sits a little bit better. Just using a clean fluffy brush just to blend that in further. So we're using MAC brown script with a fluffy blending brush, and we're just placing that in the socket, the outer socket, as you can see, and we're just blending across in like a half moon shape across the eyelid. And then using a clean buffer brush just to buff away that outer edge, just to blend it in upwards and blend it into the skin. All the brushes I will list in my description just to make it easier for you guys. So I'm just using a flat brush here, and I'm using the same colour and just going underneath the eyelid. By doing this, it just creates a bit of depth and makes the eyes look a little bit wider, especially when you're using these natural tones. Here I'm using the fluffy brush that we used earlier, just any blending brush, and all I've got on it is some translucent powder, and I'm just patting that across the eyelid just to set where we put that concealer earlier. Now today I'm doing the winged eyeliner with a kohl pencil. This is the Rimmel Scandaleyes waterproof kohl that I love so much. I just find it stays in place, it's soft enough to blend, yet it doesn't smudge, so yeah, it's win-win. So all we've done here is we've created a slight line across from the middle to the outer eyelid, just in the across the top of the eyelid, and then we're just going up on the waterline above. And now we're just going to use that brush, that flat brush, and we're just going to go across that line and blend outwards to pull out that wing. Now this is a slightly angled flat eyeliner brush. It's just a little bit fluffier than the other ones, but it's good to just go slowly, just keep going back to where the product is on the eyelid, and then just going across the wing as if you're smudging it slightly and just pulling it out, and you'll find that it will move. Obviously, if at this stage, if you do wish that it's a bit darker, you can just add a little bit more and then just repeat the process. I'm using the Nude shade in the same Rimmel waterproof the Scandaleyes eyeliner, and I'm just using that in the bottom waterline just to open the eyes and make them look fresh and awake. Now for mascara, I'm going to be honest, it's the first one I pulled out of my bag today. So this is the Lash Accelerator by Rimmel also. It's a really lovely silicone brush. It drags the eyelashes upwards and separates them really nicely, so it gives a really good effect. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Love this foundation, just gives a really nice flawless finish without feeling heavy, and just blends really nicely. Now this brush I get asked about a lot. This is the Real Techniques 213 brush. It's called the Foundation Blender. There is a slightly bigger one, I can't remember the number, which is the Face and Body Blender, and I just love it. Personally, for my own face, it just works really well. It's very easy to use. I don't use them on my clients because I just find it's harder for some reason. But yeah, it's a really easy one, especially if you just want to get your foundation on in the morning, and it blends really, really nicely. So once that's all blended in, I'm just going over with a clean fluffy brush. I'm just blending in any of the areas around my nose, around the eyes, anywhere where you don't want to get too close from the foundation brush, and it just gets rid of any seams and gives a quite nice flawless finish. The first concealer I'm using today is the Estee Lauder Doublewear concealer. This is a really full coverage concealer, works really well for under the eyes and covering any blemishes you might have. And I'm just blending that in with a fluffy brush, once again, small circular motions. The benefit of using a fluffy brush rather than a stiff brush or a flat brush like a concealer brush is that you'll find that you don't move the product away from where you want it. You just soften it and you just blend it into the skin, so it gives that real nice finish. Second concealer I'm using is a lighter shade, and this is by Catrice Cosmetics. It's the Camouflage waterproof concealer, and I'm just using that in the very inner corners, just where I've got a bit more of a darker pigment, so the bluier areas. And again, I'm just using that brush to blend it in. Before adding any powder, I'm just adding some of the MAC strobe cream. This is the pink light one, so it's very pink, slight pink sheen to it. I'm just applying it with my fingers and patting it onto the top of my cheekbones, and then I'm just going to use a fluffy brush again to blend it in and just work it into my foundation and the concealer that I've already applied. Here I'm using the RCMA No Colour Powder. I've just got some product on the end of the brush, and I'm just working that in under the eyes and patting it in just to set where I put that concealer so it doesn't move. Using a large face brush, I've just applied a small amount of that powder, and I'm just working that really, really small amount all over my face, just so we're not making it heavy, it's not drying, just to kind of set any of the creams that we've got there. Here I'm using the MAC bronzer in Refined Golden, and I'm just applying it to the cheekbones, going upwards towards the temples and the hairline. We're just aiming to create some structure and get some colour back in the face. So we'll work around the cheekbones, we'll go up towards the hairline, across the top of the forehead, under the chin, and down the side of the nose as well. I know sometimes people struggle with where to put bronzers or the darker shades, so just try and imagine it's all the places where the sun would naturally hit. So we're using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk blush, just applying that to the apples of the cheeks and upwards. This has got a lovely shimmer to it, so it's almost got like a built-in highlight. Today I'm using the bronzer by the Balm Cosmetics. This is called Bahama Mama. It's a really nice matte tan colour, and it's ideal for contouring. So I'm just applying that underneath the cheekbones and onto the temples. Also using it around the top of the head, in the hairline and under the jaw as well. So when contouring, the main areas are under the cheekbones, the temples, across the forehead, down the side of the nose. Here I'm using the Doll Beauty highlighter in Shine Bright, one of my favourites, a really lovely soft glow, just to the top of the cheekbones, lightly dusting it over, and just a little bit on the end of the nose and above the lip. Today I'm using a brow pencil rather than the brush, and I'm just going underneath, and I'm going to creating that arch shape, filling in any little gaps down the tail, and then lightly filling in the front with some brush strokes. Here I'm using an old favourite. This is the MAC lip liner in Soar. I'm just lining my lips, and I'm going to use this mainly as the colour today. This is the Lano Lips tinted lip balms. This is called Rhubarb. I love these. I have one in every bag. They're just really useful, gives a really nice glossy finish without having the stickiness, and it's good for your lips. It's just a really great idea if you don't want to wear lipstick but you want something, and it's perfect for daytime. So here it is, the finished look. Let me know what you think and give it a go.